Well, I bought a load of logs here from a guy. He loaded up, thought he could take it to a big plywood mill up here, and they turned him around because he didn't have no workman's comp or insurance on the vehicle or none of that stuff. I don't know what he was thinking, but I was going to show you a little bit about it. All of these logs, I scaled them out at 1,323 board foot. I told him I'd give him 30 cents a board foot for it. That's a very, very good number. But the thing is, he's got, I think, 3 or 4 logs that are undersized. Like this one here, it's got like an 8-inch top, 8-inch top. And I think that one's an 8-inch top. Well, there ain't much I can really do with that. And I told him that. And I told him that if I bought anything else, I wanted 12 inches or better on the top, or I didn't want it, you know. Like that log there is okay. It's a pretty good sized log. They look a lot bigger on camera. I know that's weird to say, but looks way bigger on camera than here. And I really prefer logs like this and that and all. And I don't really care if it's got butt swell, but if he brings a whole lot, I would probably tell him to jump butt cut it a foot or so, because I don't want the butt swell on it. It don't cut good when you hit it. It don't jumps and dives a lot of times, but it is what it is. You know, I ain't gonna be too picky. But I cut it back to 1,250 board foot, and I paid him $375 for it. It's supposed to have been like $390 or something like that. I can't really remember the numbers, but for 1,323 feet. But like I told him, I'm not paying him for the little logs. And I told him the lengths I wanted. I told him I wanted 8'6", 17 foot, or 25 foot if he brought them back, because I saw 8-foot stuff and 12-foot stuff really, depending on the size of it, you know. Is what I told him. I was like, if you got 12-inch stuff, I want 12-foot stuff so I can saw 2x4s and 2x6s and all that out of. If you got real big stuff, you know, 20-inch tops or whatever, I'll take 8-foot or 8.5-foot stuff, you know, so I can cut 1x12s and all out of. That's mainly what I do if you got anything that's 20 inches or bigger, because if it's not close to 20 inches, it's hard to get a 1x12 out of it. I mean, you can get a couple 1x12s, but if I do it, I want to get at least a 12x12 can or a 12x16 or something, though, you know, like that. And that's pretty much what I do with it. Most of this stuff will go for that. I got a neighbor down the road. He said he wanted some. He would help me work and saw, not really on halves, but sort of like sawing on halves. He ain't gonna pay me for none of the logs, but like we'll saw 1 log for him and 3 logs for me, or whatever, you know, something like that to work it out. However it comes out, you know, because I told him instead of 30 cents a board foot, it'd be 60 cents a board foot, you know, and him saw. So we'll pretty much probably saw all this up into 2x4s and 2x6s. I told him if he wanted some of these bigger ones, he's wanting to build a sawmill shed, you know, it'd be fine. Like if he only wants 4 logs, I'll probably just get him to help me saw up like 8 or 12 logs or whatever. He don't care. It ain't like I'm gonna take advantage of him or he's gonna take advantage of me, but we're gonna do it. Or I told him he could help me build a shoot house or feed troughs or whatever, because he don't have nothing to do on Wednesday evening, Friday evening, or Saturday morning, he said. So he could help me do that. And that's what I was gonna come to say. You know, I bought these from a neighbor that helped him out. Another neighbor helped me mill these. He's got a sawmill, but it's a Timber King manual one. And it would take him a month to saw up all this probably. So we'll just saw it on mine, and he's wanting to build a roof for his. So I figure what we'll do is I'll take some of these big ones and I'm gonna saw true 2x12s out of it, and he's gonna laminate them. I told him I wouldn't saw one big beam, but I'd laminate it like I did mine. So I feel like we're gonna saw probably 6, that'd be 12, probably 12 2x12s and some 2x6s out of it, and you know, a whole bunch of 2x6. He's probably just gonna take like a couple of these big logs here, and we'll saw all 2x6s 17 feet long out of it, and that'll be his roof area. He'll have overhang and all that, and he'll have a heck of a shed. I done somebody come by and sold me a bunch of tin they had dug out the woods for like $1 a foot or something, a linear foot or something other, like it was like $300 worth, and I didn't need it. I thought it was gonna be better. I asked them, I said, is it new tin? They was like, yeah, it's new tin, you know, from a chicken house or whatever. I was thinking like brand new tin. No, this stuff had been put on chicken houses, not that, but they'd put it on chicken houses like 10 years ago, and they had dug it out the woods, and it was pretty decent, but it wasn't good enough for brand new shoot houses that I charge $1,000 for, you know. So I sold it to him for $300, whatever it had in it. He come picked it up, and he was happy to do it. I think some of the stuff was like 20 feet long or 23 feet or something other like that. So he'll have plenty to build his lean-to with, because he just wants it like 17 or 20 feet wide. And I don't know, he probably make it 15 foot. I mean, the opening will be 17 to 20 feet, and then the depth he'll probably make it 15, 16. I'll tell him that's what he needs to anyways, because that's what mine is, and I wouldn't want it no shallower. But anyways, just, you know, a little life update there. You know, help each other out, and it'll come back and help you. You know, I say me helping people like this, it comes back to get me, you know. I do this and business will pick up. I may sell 5 or 6 more shoot houses. I don't do it for that reason, but that's what it always seems like. I help somebody else out do this and help my other neighbor out saw it and all that, and I just pick up more work, it seems like, because I don't know, sort of karma, God looking down saying, hey, you did your good deed, you know. That's just like being a Christian or whatever. To me, if all you do is you go to church and you give 10% of your paycheck, I'm not saying you're wrong. Don't think I'm saying that by any means, but that's, to me, that's not all you should do. You should give of your time and all too, because you're only getting paid just roughly 2,000 hours a year, you know, your time. So, you know, that's 8 hours a day, 2,000 hours. There's like 4,000 or 5,000 hours in a year. So, no, there's, maybe it's 6 or 8, I don't know, whatever it is. But you're not giving enough of your time. You should give 10% of your time, you know, in my personal opinion. You should give, you know, you give 10% of your paycheck. Well, give an hour or something of your time to people too. I'm not saying it's got to be 100% free, but help your neighbor out, you know. And I'm not saying you got to do it every day or whatever, but all right, you know, a storm or something come through, you go help people and help them clean up or something, and you know, you got the equipment, you charge them $100, $200 an hour. You're there 8 hours. That's like 16 hours or something. You know, 8 hours, I mean, and then you make $20 an hour. Well, crap, you know, that might be $100 or $200. You know, I mean, 100 or 200 hours you give away right there. You know, that's how I look at things. Now, am I right or wrong? I don't know, but that's sort of what I look at. That's a piece of friendly advice or whatever that I look at also. So do I do it all the time? No, but it's a good message in it. But anyways, we'll cut it short on these logs, or I guess it ain't short, it's 9 minutes in now. But I was gonna bring it to you about that. And the other thing why I wanted to buy it from him is he's got a little bob truck. So if whenever I start needing more trees, if he can bring me stuff like this, it'd be ideal for me. But just hopefully bigger around, you know. Ideally I like 15-inch stuff, 15, 20-inch. I don't really care for stuff over 20, but somewhere right around in there, if he can supply me with a load of wood every week or two or something like that, you know, a couple times a month, I can keep fresh wood and I don't have a bunch of stuff that bugs get in. But we're definitely gonna saw this up before we saw the bug ridden stuff up. But anyways, we'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a good one.